Hello, sisters. Welcome to Rising Feminine Online Temple. This is season 3, our third year of facilitating a week long of sacred feminine initiations, celebrating World Femininity Day. And it is for us women to remember the journey back to our feminine essence amongst our busy lifestyle. So my name is Jonita D'souza, and I'm the feminine lifestylist, also keeper of this online temple space, where I have gathered visionaries from around the world to come together, hold space for you to deepen your connection with your feminine. And a big part of my role as a feminine lifestylist is to remind women to bring in rituality to our busy lives so that we can learn how to nourish, nurture, and also listen to our feminine wisdom. As a temple participant, I also invite you to create this sacred space right now as you are listening to this transmission. Light a sage or candle, get your favorite cup of tea, whatever it is that you can do to just pause, become present to receive this medicine that is being shared with you today. And joining us today is Satyen Raja. I have been following Satyen's work for some time, and it's such a pleasure to have Satyen here. I'm going to read a little bit about Satyen so that you get an idea about this beautiful person's sacred work, and then we can dive right into our topic today. Satyen is the founder and CEO of multi-million-dollar transformational academy Warrior Sage, has impacted over 100,000 students from 50 countries around the world after 35 years of rigorous study and practice in both creating enlightened business growth and developing higher consciousness. Satyen works privately with CEOs, high impact individuals, executive teams who have mastered accomplishment in the financial and public world, but now want a deeper balance, illumination, and self realized equilibrium that he calls peak existence. So if you're ready, Satyen's fearless and heartfelt style will transform your untapped potentiality into strengths and full spectrum of your life into peak existence. Welcome, Satyen.
Thank you, Jonita. So honored to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
So I must say that I have been learning about the Warrior Sage. The name kind of drew me since last 4 years, and I've been following you here and there, and getting into the essence of this Warrior Sage concept. And I felt that this would be the right presence to bring into the temple to share more about the masculine dynamics of the rising feminine consciousness. So a pleasure and honor to have you here. So as a tradition in this temple, before our interview, I pull out a goddess card, and I want to share what came out. And I can see Goddess Bridget.
Don't back down.
Don't back down. And this is her, I don't know if you can read.
Stand up for what you believe is right. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. So don't back down for me. And as I was tuning into our energies, I feel you as this, powerful presence, like don't back down. So I wanted to ask if this has any resonance, this message has any resonance with you in this moment before we begin.
Absolutely. So just before this meeting, I have a group of master coaches I train in my mastermind. And this was the topic. The topic was exactly this topic. And the topic was that we as beings, as guides, as humanitarians, as individuals, we have a great gift to bring to others, to the world at large. And what we were dealing with was the propensity within our being to pull back, to not be 100% active in the offering of our gift, due to fears, restrictions, limiting beliefs, mindset, laziness, whatever, many, many different things. And so today our topic was, and this is apropos for today, is can we bring 100% of our fullness to what is really needed, our dharma, the gift, the offering we have in our life? Because I've come to realize that 99% is like a slow drip poison. We don't realize it. We think we're putting so much energy, but that 99% is like a slow drip poison, even though it seems substantial. But then when we dial in and we say, no, there's some part of myself that's holding back, some part of myself that is contracting or retracting from my life's fullness. And so when we bring 100% and we recalibrate ourselves and bring fully our presence to life, then everything opens up. Our meeting life has life meet us. And then the universe literally wishes to serve our depth, our beauty, our magnificence. But it cannot if we're putting gas and brake out. It can only respond to us being in full invitation and full offering. So this is not only for them, I believe it's for us as well.
Yeah, apt. So I know, Satyen, we share some common grounds here that we're really passionate about bringing some Eastern traditions to the Western world. I would like you to share with the women watching, how did you begin this work of the warrior sage?
When I was a boy, I got very much involved in martial arts, and I was very blessed to have teachers who are interested and were awakened, spiritually awakened teachers. And so I was brought up by and fostered by, mentored by some very brilliant divine beings, very blessed, my parents as well. And that led me to do a deep dive into all forms of Eastern philosophy. I started in being an Indian, from an Indian nationality. I dove deep into that, and that led me to just a voracious appetite to discover how our consciousness works. What is the fullness of our full experience that we can have here on life? And so that's been my ongoing passion and dedication through my life, is how we can magnify the full potential of our consciousness for the sake of the greater good. Obviously for ourselves, but for the greater good. So that's led me on many, many adventures with many masters and teachings through the years. And humbly, at the end of the day, it's the warrior within us, I feel, is that part within us which is courageous. It's not a man or woman, it's the courage within us, the warrior. And the warrior is the one that takes action in spite of fears. The warrior within us is the one that holds true to our values. The warrior within us holds true to what is right within our own soul and guards our soul from all the obstacles of life. So that is the strength of the warrior. And I feel it needs to be tempered with the wisdom of the sage within us. And the sage is our enlightened wisdom, feminine wisdom, the wisdom from our soul, the wisdom that's already within our heart. The part within us that is already awake and enlightened is our sage. So when we bring our power of focus, our power of accomplishment, our power of direction, and we combine it and marry it with our power of freedom, flow, our power of connecting to the spirit of life, the Shakti, the life force of life. When we bring these together, then we become unstoppable. So that's the essence of warrior sage within us all.
I like that you said irrespective of men and women, is irrespective of gender. This is the quality, the essence. So I also know and recognize it as a personal experience that a lot of us have like an unconscious resistance to this warrior sage aspect of ourselves. What do you have to say to that? Like, where and why are we resisting this aspect to come out?
Well, warrior traditionally for many, many years, thousands of years, have been a very male dominant mindset and attribute and archetype within our being. For obvious reasons, for war, for all the reasons that are out there, okay? Where men have been in the dominant role for society for many years. It's not always been the case. There's been pockets and places and different eras and times where we've had much more flow and equality. There's been times where the feminine power, the female power in certain cultures has been the strong power, whereas the masculine has been the beta rather than the alpha power. But that's rare, not so much anymore. So I believe that because the warrior energy is also associated with a closed heart, gain and power over other people, destruction, it's got a bad rap, and understandably, all right? But I believe that there's an enlightened warrior within us, and that is the warrior that's connected to the heart, the warrior for good, like Mahatma Gandhi. You look at Oprah. She's a warrior for good in the midst of all the obstacles she has had. You look at some of the great women, great men of our life. Although they might not look externally like a warrior, their internal disposition of never giving up, having an unconquerable spirit, having within them the capacity to follow through in execution, even through the challenges of life, bringing their dreams into reality. This is within us all. So when we can enlighten and embrace at the warrior with heart, from the soulful warrior, this is the true, what I believe, a true spiritual warrior. And that is all of us, men, women, children, all of us. It just needs to be fostered with deep care and cultivated. And we also need to embrace and claim we have a spiritual warrior within us and bring it to the forefront of our life, especially when we need to move forward in a valiant, positive way.
So do you find that that's the people that come to work with you and activate this aspect have some kind of fear that are probably stopping them to fully express this element?
Absolutely. You know, we have so many fears in life, right? From being suppressed, from having our energies not acknowledged, our gifts have not been fully received and acknowledged through life. And so there's some part of our youthfulness, our inner child, that is looking for still some external validation.
Yeah.
Am I good enough? Am I valuable enough? Do I mean something? Am I important? Will you love me? Will you honor me? Will you take me in? Will you shelter me? Can I be your friend? All these energies, when they're coming from our insecurity, we get more of that energy, unbelievably. We get more of that. But when we dial in to the part in us that is already whole, I challenge everyone. I know every single person listening, we might have unresolved areas, we all do. But also there's a part within us which is solid and strong. There's also a part within us already today which needs no more growth work and is already full and complete. That's the warrior to embrace, the part in us that is already whole. And when we embrace, okay, I might not be great at this, but I'm very good at this. I might not be perfect in these areas, but I'm good at this area. By owning and claiming that energy of what you already are good at, you strengthen the warrior within yourself. And then that warrior wants to come out and be of service. When we don't bring that warrior out in service, it becomes toxic within our system. It stays suppressed and repressed. We get irritable, we get tense. We can lash out at ourselves, we can go into depression. We go to all these states because we haven't found the outlet and the expression of our full nature. And that is the key. Once we find and we not only align, but we dedicate ourselves to that expression, however that is for each one. For you, it's in this way. For me, it's through mentoring and guiding. However that is for everyone, when we find that and live it and dedicate ourselves to it and say, I'm making that priority, then our true power of the warrior comes to the forefront. We become unstoppable, truly.
Yeah. For me personally, it was physically dropping down. Like my physical body just could not hold so much of fear and suppression. I don't know if it was unconscious, or of course it was unconscious, but I didn't know at that time. And I physically dropped and felt ill. And I thought that, okay, I just can't be toxically treating myself this way. And from then on, I knew that a spark had ignited, and now I have to keep fueling it. Like, there was this taste of, okay, total surrender. Now what? Now explore these.
And the energies of how we cultivate our masculine and feminine energies as a warrior is very unique. So I'm more of a masculine energetic field. My wife is more feminine. And again, this is not gender biased. You can, we have a natural resting position of our masculine and feminine energy, I believe. And I'm, let's say, 70% masculine, 30% feminine. My wife is the exact opposite, 70% feminine, 30% masculine. So none of us are either or. We all are along this spectrum. And we've also been conditioned. So perhaps, a lot of women have been born with a deeper feminine essence, but they grew up with a world which honors the masculine so much, which values the masculine and the maleness of our world, and denigrates or doesn't honor the feminine as much. And so we've got this subconscious imprint that the feminine is less valuable than the masculine, which is ridiculous because that's saying the left hand is more important than the right hand. It's part of our whole dynamic.
Yeah.
So I truly feel that when we can embrace, where are we on this scale? love the feminine within us, love the masculine energy within us. And we can speak about what those mean in a moment. But when we can love that full spectrum within us, then we become a much more happier, delicious, alive soul who's enjoying the pleasures of life rather than constantly in some type of struggle.
Mhm. Yeah. What I have also noticed is that when we women are now feeling called to explore this conscious feminine element in ourselves, and we're doing a great job in going and figuring this out, reading resources, participating in circles, retreats, goddess things, and in a way, I feel that this act has also, in a way, terrorized the masculine out of the women. I feel like that now some women are struggling to connect to the conscious masculine just because they are embracing their femininity, and they have suffered because of their masculine, and it's either or. So I'd like you to share about the conscious masculine and how we can relate to it.
Absolutely. So I'm going to backtrack and define these a little better from my understanding. By masculine, energetic, I'm talking about the aspect within us which is the unchanging Atma, the unchanging divine being, which is always ever present in this moment, when you were born, when you were younger, this time, when we're older. That aspect which is witnessing, the aspect of us which is consciousness, experiencing all of reality, tastes, colors, smells, flavors, life experience, all of that, emotions. The part that is the experiencer is the masculine in this definition. And the realm of infinite experience and expressions of infinity, the universe itself, the colors, the tastes, the forms, the life, all the dimensions of life, that represents the feminine, or in the East, they would call it the Shakti, the animating life force of reality, the things that makes the stars and the universe move and flow. And the witness, the empty space, the conscious space that's holding this all, is the divine masculine. Shiva, Shakti, Purush, Prakrit, from the yogic philosophy, from the Hindu philosophy. Now, we have the spectrum within us. Some of us are more identified to the freedom or consciousness aspect, and we're more masculine, which means we'll be more attracted and more driven by the impulse to gain more and more freedom. Freedom from the constraints of life, freedom from mental challenges, freedom from obligations, stresses, money, life, whatever. Whenever there's a strong feeling of oppression, of freedom, and that I got to break through it, that's our masculine side active. Now, conversely, within us is also the feminine, male or female. And the feminine is all of that which is the flow of life and life force and love and relating. So when I'm feeling that there's lack of love, a lack of flow, lack of connection, that is then the worst pain of the feminine. The worst pain of the feminine within us is not feeling the freedom to flow in love with friends, family, lovers, partners, children, spouses, you name it, the world. And the worst pain of the masculine within us is feeling the oppression of freedom, feeling we're constrained by something. The humor is when we are in heightened states of awareness and awakening in spiritual practice, we go beyond I need more love, beyond I need more freedom, to I am love. I am freedom. And that becomes the primary feminine spiritual practice, is to recognize, rather than consistently clamor and yearn and ache and become codependent for love, we become love. We are love, and we radiate love, and we express love from the fullness of what we already are, rather than from the emptiness of what we want to fill. This is the key of spiritual practice for the feminine wisdom within us, is to nurture the replenishment of pleasure, physical pleasure, mental pleasure, emotional pleasure, spiritual pleasure. This pleasure word has been a no-no from the masculine traditions, considered negative. But no, from the feminine, we must fully embrace and enjoy pleasure coursing through our bodies daily. So I wanted to leave you with that.
Yeah, this is so juicy to hear that. Um, as you were speaking, I just could not stop smiling because I could relate to what is important to my husband and what is important to me when you were saying the masculine freedom and the feminine aspect of love, and we try to kind of change each other, make each other understand that why are you not getting me? And it happens in in relationships so much that we kind of want to mold or make the other person understand us, but if they are in their as you say, the primary essence, then we keep clashing. So I would love you to talk about conscious relating in this aspect.
Absolutely. So practically, this is how this works. So my wife's number one value is the flow of love. My number one value is the flow of freedom. Her number two value is the flow of freedom, and mine is the flow of love. So when I'm speaking to her now, before I knew this, before I knew this understanding years back, I would always try to get her to be in my mindset. She would always try to get me in her mindset.
I can so relate to that. I'm just laughing because we do it unconsciously.
So now what I do is when I'm with her, now when there's a topic or whatever, I know that her primary motive is the flow of love. So knowing that, I set aside my primary motive and impulse of freedom as a second, even though it's first for me, out of my love and devotion. When I'm with my lady, with my wife, hey honey, what, I don't ask her so much. I look at what are opportunities I can have to allow the flow of love. Maybe I'll take her for a walk today. Maybe I'll make a nice smoothie or a dinner for her. Maybe it doesn't have to be extravagant or cost a lot of money. It could be simply, I might put my arms around her, hold her close in my embrace, and let her know how beautiful she is. Because the feminine is light. It's the light of the divine. You are the light of the divine, Goddess says. You are embodied light transmissions. And so we love to see that. And so when we as masculine people embrace and love, and we say, wow, you're so beautiful, you're so radiant, I love the way you made me dinner, I love that dress you're wearing today. The recognition, the acknowledgement, and the devotion to the light the feminine is emanating is one of the greatest gifts we can give. Now, let me tell it the other way. So now, as a conscious woman, feminine radiant woman, knowing that, let's say, and this is using a hetero example, but it could also be for a gay example. It doesn't matter, because in all relationships, one partner has more masculine, one partner is more feminine, regardless of gender. So how you can serve the masculine is by giving them invitation, and I'm going to give you 3 points: surrender and expression. So rather than tell the masculine what to do, that causes repulsion. Invite them, beloved, come and have a seat. You look so tired. Come, lay down. Let me give you a shoulder massage for a minute. Or it's embracing with come on, let me give you a little sensual, sexual time. Let me come and embrace me. Come. So it's the allure and the invitation into something deeper, something more free. Sometimes I'll be so in my masculine, I'll overrun, I'll work long hours. My beautiful, Suzanne, she'll say, honey, come with me, come. And she'll hold my hand, we'll go for a walk. She'll say, take your shoes off, let's go for a walk in the grass outside. And just those 10, 15 minutes, I feel loved, I feel supported. So you can gift your partners in your life with invitation. You can also gift them with the gift of surrender. Honey, what do you want to do for today? For dinner? Mexican or Italian? I don't know. What do you want to do? I'm not sure. What do you want to? So when there's no one taking the lead, it becomes friendly. But if you can say, whatever you choose, my beloved, I'm with you, then it allows him to be in his mask and go, oh, whatever. Oh, okay, we're going to go for Italian tonight. So you're empowering him to make decisions, not because you're weak, but because you're allowing your feminine power to be guided through surrender. And that creates more eroticism, connection. It creates more sassy juiciness. between you when you're playing the game of direction and surrender. And the last gift you can give in your intimate moments, this is not every day, every moment. So invitation, surrender, this is in the times you want to craft and generate intimacy, okay? When you're working and you have to do business, you can't do this in those realms. It has to be, you got to get to work. But in this realm, that's important. And then the last one is expression. This is one of the biggest gifts you can give your lovers and friends in the world. Your feminine heart is so rich with inner knowing. It's so rich. The feminine within you can feel the disruptions in the force way before the masculine can feel it. They can feel when something is out. The intuitive capacities are so high. The sensitivity realms are so already inherently awake and beautiful. So expression is being willing to express the fullness of your undressed heart in your intimacy. So in moments you're sad, show your expression. Honey, I'm sad. Don't squash it, stifle it, reframe it, try to do something with it. Express your sad. Another time you're happy, fully express you're happy. Another time you're erotically turned on, express it fully. Another time you're quiet and serene and gentle, express that fully. So expression without reservation is one of the greatest gifts that the feminine can give. It becomes toxic when we take our expression and so they won't understand me. I don't know if they'll listen to me. I don't feel my voice is heard. When you act on that part of your mind and suppress the expression, it causes inner toxicity. Build up resentment, tension, achy bones, stiffness, feeling like life is dry. What's the meaning of life? But when we have the courage and grow ourselves to express fully and to invite fully and to surrender fully, there's no stopping. Not only will your intimacies go through the roof, your connection to the divine universe, the universe itself, will start to flow towards you because the universe responds to invitation, surrender, and expression from the undressed feminine heart. It's a true gift you have. It's time to bring it out for really fully.
Yeah. So just taking a moment to sink that in, making notes here as you speak. This is a pure gem: invitation, surrender, and expression. What happens when I know for me, and this was something very prevalent in my mind, that what if I'm not received, the way I'm opening my heart to my man? What do you have to say in
This
there?
is the toughest question. Most of the times you will not be.
Yes, okay.
This is the sacrifice, the surrender, the invitation, and the expression of love. When you're feeling it's not being fully received, it hurts. If you fully express the hurt, staying eye connected, heart connected, our tendency is when we're hurt, when we're not feeling the flow of love, it's not being received, then we tend to pull away, of course, right? If it's not being received, we don't go forward more, we tend to pull away and contract. But the gift and the spiritual practice is to turn it around. How about we do that right now? Take a minute and dial in these divine potentialities within us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do
So
that.
I'm going to invite everyone to just shake their body, get some energy moving through their body, move your shoulders, your neck, take a few deep breaths in and out. Just let some sizzle move through you, okay? Now, whether you're single or in a relationship, if you're single and you're happy, then say I'm a single being, solo being. If you're single and you wish to attract a partner in your life, don't say you're single anymore. Say I'm available. Redefine yourself as an available, not single. Because if you say you're single, you'll keep reinforcing I'm single unconsciously. But if you say I'm an available woman, then you can tell your friends, your family, hey, if you know an available man who might be an appropriate match for me, I'm open for an introduction. It's much better than saying I'm single, because single reinforces that pattern. If you're in already a relationship, then beautiful, wonderful. Now it's the real practice. Now, I've been with Suzanne now for 31 years. There is no perfect day. Every day you're going to have ups and downs. Times where you're feeling more closer, times you're feeling more distant. So many factors are there. The stresses of life are there. Now, the spiritual practice is this. In the morning, you dance, you shake up, whatever. And imagine, and you can put a music on to this if you'd want in your favorite music song. Imagine that your arms are open. You can do this as well with your arms open. And that you're softening the front surface of your face, your throat, your chest, solar plexus, your belly, your womb, and you're softening the front surface. And inside your heart, your arms are tendrils coming out of the heart, and they're in a position of invitation. Invitation, I invite you to come close. Beloved, lover, universe. It could be something you wish to manifest in the world. I invite this into my life. I invite love. I invite presence. I invite nobility. I invite the highest coordination of the universe for my highest good and the good of all. So this is the disposition of invitation. Now, how can you make your hands and your body magnify the invitation? And so this is a prayerful opening up to the cosmos itself. Knowing that the universe is your divine lover, wishes to fulfill what you're inviting in. Yes, beautiful. So that's invitation. And let's now move into surrender. And surrender is not a weakness. From the full magnificent goddess that you are, now to the universe inside you say, universe, take me where you wish. Guide me to my highest light. I release the grip of control and allow myself to be taken into bliss and joy and love and freedom. So feel that disposition as if the universe is your lover, and you're saying, lover, take me if you dare. I'm all yours. So that's the art of sacred surrender from the strength of yourself as a powerful divine woman. And now the last part is expression. Feel what's in your heart and magnify it. If there's a sound there, make a sound. If there's body movement, make a body movement. If there's stillness, magnify and express the stillness. If there's joy and humor and sassiness, get sassy and humorous and joyful. If there's tenderness and gentleness, magnify that. But let it fill the whole room where you are, and the whole building where you are, the whole town with who you are. Express yourself. Imagine that who you are is fully being expressed into the world at large, without reservation. So now feel invitation with your hands and body language, and your heart and soul. Feel surrender with your body language, your heart, body, and soul. I let go, I let God, I let go, and I let love live me. And now I allow myself to enter full expression of my naked soul, my naked heart, my naked being. Come as I am. Take me however I am. This is who I am, what I am. And then give yourself a self-loving bow. And celebrate yourself and all the other sisters in the world out there who have this divine gift of surrender, expression, and invitation. And embrace all of them into your heart space. And now make a dedication that the fullness of your feminine power and soul is not only a gift for you, it's a gift for your family, it's a gift for the world. Honor that as a warrior, sage, feminine leader you are. And stand in that power and celebrate now who you are. Oh, beautiful.
can feel my body relaxing, my shoulder just relaxing. It's like the weight just, sliding down gently. It feels good to be in that space that I'm forgetting what to ask you next. It doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't really.
That's true. Thank you so much for this experience of reminding us to embrace the fullness of our femininity. Thank you so much, Satyen. I know you have a free gift to share with the women. It's a complimentary Tantra audio training. Would you like to share a little bit about it?
My wife Suzanne and I, we did a live training, a Tantra training, which is on sacred relationships and sacred sexuality. And that has been turned into an audio program. And it is filled with great insights and understanding of what Suzanne and I have done in our 30+ year relationship to keep the passion alive, to keep our hearts strong, and to elevate our relationship into a divine level of relating. So this is all there. It's our complimentary gift for everyone to enjoy.
Thank you very much. And I've gone through this trainings. It's several hours, I should say, like of resources to listen again and again and go back to it. Quite a few different audios on different topics and relating masculine and feminine dynamics. I really invite women to get yourself this training, this resource, and the links will be just below this video. Satyen, one of the questions I'm asking every single temple guide is, what does rising feminine mean to you in this moment? Would you like to also share, please?
Whoa, this is the time now for the feminine to be the power on the planet for the next 50 to 100 years. We've been on this other swing for thousands of years. It's time to correct, and this is the time for all of you feminine beings to really bring the fullness. We need you. The men need you in the world. Children, we need you in the world. We need you women to totally embrace the fullness of the goddess, true power, the feminine power within you. It's the greatest gift we need to balance out the imbalance on this planet. So please, from my heart as a man, I'm going to encourage and invite you all to bring it, because you are the love we need on the planet right now.
Thank you. This is a beautiful note to close this session today. Thank you, Satyen, for your presence, for your guidance, and sharing your gift to us women and all the work that you do to lift up the consciousness and the peak existence, the work that you've been doing. I also want to add here that I've been participating in your activations that you've done recently. So I've done the abundance, and I recently completed the relationship. I have the power to go to look into, but I really encourage the women watching to get this free resource as well. I will also have this link down below, and beautiful training that you can come together as community and also experience Satyen live in your home for free, and also get beautiful nuggets from there.
Oh, thank you. Such an honor being here today. Your energy and your embrace and your heart is so beautiful, Jonita, and all the women that you serve. I know they're being blessed by what you have in your heart to give. It's just beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you, Satyen.